Or do you know? Because if the winners of the losers beat the winners or beat the Storm Riders now, will there be another match?
So how this works, basically, so we have one team in who came from winners, one team came from losers. The final match is essentially a best of three between those two teams, but the team that came from winners starts with one game already on the board. So
Okay.
the winner only has to win one, loser has to win two.
All right. Anyway, so we can let's start with the loadouts. Now that they have a pause.
Yeah. Pause.
Yeah, they have.
Okay. Well, uh, during that pause, we'll start with red team, the Catskyders. We have the battering ram, a blenderfish with left side light carronade, right side banshee, piloted by Finks. Their ally, the KTN IKEA. It is a Gant Mortar Pyramidion piloted by Ayatak with the left side flamethrower flare gun.
Yep, and on the blue team we have the Armor freaking Gun. It looks like I'm dropping some frames here. That is not good. It is a Movelop piloted by Mean Machine. It has a mortar up top. It's got double gats down below, and it has an Ardemi and a flare gun on the wings. And on the last ship, the Paradox, it is piloted by Mr. Wildcards. It is a gat mortar with a Banshee and a flare gun on the side.
Oh, I like these brawl mobulas. Oh, this is pretty much this what we're seeing from the Armor Freak and Geddon with the two Gatlings and the mortar. This is the Canyon Ambush special. They're gonna try to just catch red team where they're not expecting. And just the double Gatling shreds the armor so quickly. I mean, the Armor Freak and Geddon is a scary ship if it manages to get the jump. But it's going to require some sneaky play from blue team because they don't really have any long range firepower that you would have on a more traditional Mobula.
It looks like though that they're going for the cloud cover. Here, while the veteran ram, I think it might will here go in and spot the Paradox. We can see if we can see it from here. Spots have gone out now though.
And I guess also that's true. Red team not having a long range fire themselves, so going with this brawl Mobula setup is not as much of a liability. It just means they have more firepower in the range of engagement that's likely to happen, which is close range. Both these teams, this is probably the single most common area where we see the kind of the teams find each other on Canyon Ambush. This opening, going from the center canyons into blue spawn. Both teams know where each other are. They don't really want to commit. Paradox peeling off a little bit. Looks like they're going to try to rise up, maybe get a either they're going to try to ramp it over this terrain and get it behind the IKEA, which probably ill-advised considering red team knows he's there, but he also might just be trying to get some spots over the mountain, which he's unable to do.
Looks like he was
So
peeking a little bit, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, IKEA trying to find out where the Red Pyramidion is located, but IKEA's sitting back there. I think they're waiting for maybe an ambush. But of course, the the TT, they know both the red ships are there, so probably won't be much of a surprise. All right, looks like Paradox pulling forward a little bit. IKEA has revealed himself. He is charging forward to get mortar Pyramidions. Looks like IKEA a little undecisive with the Gatling. No? Okay, he's going to be charging past the Paradox, focusing Get-In. IKEA's taking an enormous amount of damage. You cannot charge. In the Gat Mortar Pyramidion, you cannot charge the Brawl Mobula. The Brawl Mobula has more guns than you.
Yeah, it's double the gats and a mortar up top there.
Now the Battering Ram. Battering Ram's going to have to try to escape. They are in the Goldfish, so it's certainly possible. But it's going to require a little bit of a tricky maneuvering. Make sure they don't hit any of these canyon walls. Gatling fire coming in. I think they're trying to maybe focus. Well, we got some long mortar shots. Not going to hit. Paradox continuing to chase. I wonder how far as the blue team is willing to go, if they're going to. No, looks like this is as far as they're willing to go, as they're going to halt at about center map. They don't want to charge into red spawn. They know the IKEA is back in the game. They don't want to get ambushed, so they're going to play it safe. They're going to back off. But yeah, what we saw in that previous fight, that is the strength of the Brawl Mobula. It is so strong against Gat Mortar Pyramidions, especially like even before the previous nerf, right? Like having those two Gatlings, you take their armor so quickly, and now with the Pyramidions whole health nerf, it dies that much faster as well from the mortar.
Yeah, but it's now even more efficient than it used to be.
Like the only way the Gat Mortar Pyr is going to beat the Mobula is if they get in a nice solid ram from an angle they aren't expecting. You're not good. Like I think this really applies for in most, like when you're faced against most Mobulas, even not in this specific situation, but charging straight into the Mobula's gun line, usually not the best plan.
I think I would have in that game. I would have sent the fish first. That is to be bait a little bit and then get the Pyrrha in afterwards.
I think they shouldn't just be trying to charge through the center opening. They should try to find a nice unexpected angle of attack. Interesting Paradox actually. Paradox is circling around a bit. He's being a little sneaky over here. It looks like Red Team is none the wiser. Red Team is just going to assume the Pyramidion is back in blue spawn with their ally. But that is not the case. Paradox. I wonder how Blue Team is going to do this. They're going to need pretty precise timing. When the Paradox decides to reveal itself and charge forward, the Armor Freak and Get It needs to be putting in some fire as well. And it'll be a little more difficult seeing as the Armor Freak and Get In is close range, rather than... It's a lot easier to contribute support fire when you're long range because you can do it from any distance, but it looks like the Paradox is now engaging the KTea and IKEA. They had no idea, although a beautiful Hydro jump from the IKEA, and now the Paradox is the one who's lost their gun arcs. Paradox just losing their whole armor, mortars coming in from the IKEA. Mortars not quite there. At the same time, the Armor Freak and Get-In's losing their balloon. The Battering Ram's getting the better of that exchange. And wow. The IKEA with just a beautiful dodge, completely turning the engagement with the Paradox on their head, and yeah, the Mobula is also just unable to fight the disabling fire from that heavy carrying Goldfish.
It looked like there the first engagement that when they charged it, it looked like the IKEA would die, but then that beautiful Hydro there just changed that completely around.
Just yeah, beautiful. Like the reactions from eye attack were spot on because I don't think they had any idea the Pyramidion was there. So that was kind of just a twitch reaction of popping that Hydro, which worked out very well for them. And now, 1-0 deficit turns into 2-1 in their favor, and the TT are going to have to decide how they want to approach the next engagement.
Because they had a nice ambush. They didn't. I think the Paradox didn't in too hard. If he had not charged and let's see if he has. He actually doesn't have hydrogen, so he couldn't have followed that Hydro up there. But
yeah, if he just tried to keep his gun arcs rather than going for the ram, he might have been able to get that kill. But that's the thing with the Pyramidion with those rams. Like a lot of newer Pyramidion pilots, they think they should be ramming always. They think they should try to hit the enemy target with the front of your ship in every opportunity. But a lot of your guns do a lot of damage. A lot of the time it's just better to kind of sit back and make sure you maintain those gun arcs. Because if you whiff the ram, you can be left in a very bad spot. It looks like Red Team has sort of moved into center map. One of them is spotted. So it looks like probably both teams are kind of aware of at least where one of these ships on the other are. So they have a general idea of the enemy positioning. I don't know. You think Paradox is going to try to go for another sort of stealth attack, or if he's going to choose to just stick with his ally this time?
I think since the first one failed, I don't think he's going to try it again. Though next time I think it will work a lot better. But the blue team, they got so much stripping potential, but they've got no disabling potential, except for that one RMI that they have on the Armor Freaking Geddon. So unless the Armor Freaking Geddon can actually disable the front gun on the fish, the Armor Freaking Geddon is basically dead unless the Pyrrha charges them.
Yeah, I wonder if anyone's even. I mean, looking at the current crew position on the Armor Freaking Geddon, I don't think anyone's really manning that Artemis at, at any point. So probably not looking to get any disables. They want to just be ready for the moment they see an enemy ship to be able to engage both those Gatling guns.
Uh,
Battering ram is spotted.
I think if Armor Freaking had the Armai on the other side instead of the flare gun there, I think he could have taken the whole armor engineer on the Armai more, and once he gets close, he jump down.
Mobula's taken a pretty high position here. This is probably likely to stay out of the heavy carronades upward arcs. Battering ram's going to try to rise to compensate. Gatling coming down from the Armor Freaking Geddon. Heavy Caro coming in as well. Armor Freaking Geddon needs to be careful. They actually need to back off a bit so they don't land on this piece of terrain. So they're not going to be able to continue this fight. Paradox going in. Paradox has to be kind of careful because Armor Freaking Geddon's still recovering from their balloon disable. So the Paradox is all on their own. Banshee coming in from the battering ram. IKEA is moonshining. Simultaneous hull armor break from both the ships, but the IKEA was already severely damaged from the last fight. If they had gone in at full health, IKEA would have won that engagement because the Paradox actually took a huge amount of damage, but because the IKEA was so damaged, they went down first. And now the battering ram is in another bad situation where they need to back out as these like infinite Gatling guns are just slowly chipping away at their hull. But they will be able to escape to safety.
It's so hard to chase that fish, especially when I'm pretty sure that everyone on this ship has greased. No, the when is Armai and that's weird that the don't have any. If they had any less muck on the mortars, I think they would have been a lot better.
On what? I think on IKEA?
No, on the Mobula, on the Armor Freaking Geddon, for that extra range, because they have the two Gatlings and they have always. Ooh, there goes Paradox though. But on the Armor Freaking Geddon, you don't have to chase because that's the Imperial's responsibility. Let's now see if the mortars will hit. Will that last more hit? Nope, the hull armor goes up in time. And the balloon on the Armor Freaking Geddon is down again, so now the battering ram will just go in the engagement. Looks like the Armor Freaking Geddon is taking a huge bump there against the pillar.
Yeah, battering ram's gonna continue the engagement with the Mobula. Gonna try to finish them off before the Paradox is able to join back in. I'm not sure about this tactic the battering ram is using. It's disabling the balloon with the heavy carronade and then turning Banshee side. I feel like if they had just gone for the ram, it would have been a much faster kill, but it doesn't matter. The blue Mobula does go down regardless. And although red team does have a decisive point lead, they're up a full team wipe. It is 4-2. They have taken a lot of damage in that previous engagement. IKEA, I don't know what IKEA could really do in the next fight. Maybe
the next hull drop he would be dead by far.
You know, again, this is another situation where maybe if he destroyed his ship and got a new one, you know, they've got a 2-point lead and they're inevitably gonna give up a kill, and like pretty much the second the engagement starts, they're gonna die. The IKEA will probably just die to the like double or triple Gatling, right?
Yeah, if he gets gatted now, he will by far just be finished. He has so little. I think he has less than 1 bar of perma left.
So yeah, just again, pilots. You know, I don't know. I think more people should really consider that option. You know, they could back up into their own spawn, and they'll have enough time to end their own ship. But they are content to stick with their current permahull status. Certainly, it means they will have to be a little more careful. Goldfish will probably have to take the lead. Although the Goldfish, not in the best state themselves, they're already down to about 55% health.
They're just over half, so the Goldfish can just slip in and out of situations anyway. So
well, except the problem is they can't though, because if they slip out of a situation, they're leaving their ally to take the brunt of blue team's firepower.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
really, any engagement that they go into, they're going to have to commit. The blue team kind of pensively pushing into the canyons here. Looks like they're going to be going east. We'll see how far they're willing to pursue this voyage, if they're willing to go into red spawn or not, which is where red team is currently residing. Trying to take up a more defensive position with more visibility.
But I've been lacking this. I haven't seen that much of the armor again using rogue shoot to keep his height when his balloon goes down. Because once his balloon gets off, he usually just falls instead of using rogue shoot, and I think that's a bit weird. Let's see here now. Here comes the engagement.
Yeah, we have some heavy Caro shots going on the blue team. A little bit of a split fire. Geddon's balloon's going down, but here we have the Gatling between the Paradox and IKEA, and IKEA needs to be so careful with their hull armor. They're backing up, they're rising. Somehow the IKEA has not lost hull armor yet, but with this ram, it's... Well, Paradox actually going down first. I believe the combination of the gap mortar as well as the self-inflicted ram damage